anyone remember when I explained the theoretical concept of all the four libraries, what I explained for Paramiko? Any drawbacks you remember? Anything that you got to know? Anyone? Okay, no issues. So let's start with the theoretical concept first, and we'll move towards the practical afterwards. So guys, what is Paramiko and why we use Paramiko? So in nowadays, as I told you right earlier as well, that we all are focusing on SSH, right? Very few organizations in the market who is focused on uh, telnet lib. My bad, not telnet lib, it's telnet, right? And that I have explained as well that those devices who don't support SSH, there we can use telnet. But most of the data centers or most of the devices to support SSH. So dealing with SSH, we have few libraries, right? So how we can deal with SSH, that we'll see now. So if you have a look, the session that we have taken last time, I have explained all the four libraries. So let's focus on Paramiko now, which is our second library named as Paramiko. Now let's talk about advantages and then we'll move toward disadvantages. Now the advantages of Paramiko are it supports all the devices, right? All devices irrespective of vendor. You can say that it's irrespective of vendor, guys. Irrespective of the any vendor, you can use this Paramiko to interact with any of the device which support SSH. This is one of the biggest advantage of Paramiko. Now, second advantage of Paramiko is just like in Telnet lib, we have seen that we have to convert each and every statement into the bytecode that we have seen. So here, no need to convert that particular command into the bytecode and send it to the device, right? This is the second advantage. Paramiko will take care of that automatically. No need to write B in front of that or encode after any of the variable. Now, the third advantage of Paramiko is its very fast library as compared to Telnet lib, right? How, like, in which scenario I'm talking as a fast, because let's say in Telnet lib, we use to send the command as tn.write, right? And we were sending the command as shuren, but the time required to get an output from telnet lib will be lesser in Paramiko because it's very fast, right? These are the three biggest advantage of Paramiko. Quickly, let's have a look of the disadvantages as well. Now, the first and foremost disadvantage of Paramiko is we need to use time parameter. Now, why time parameter? As I told you, Paramiko is very fast library, guys. So what happens now? Let's say if you hit show run, let's say on the device as well, if you hit show running configuration, it will at least take few minutes to load that configuration because once you hit enter, it will show like building configurations, right? Then we'll see the practical as well. So that's what we need to give some time to the Paramiko. But what Paramiko says that I'm a very fast library, that whatever command that you're going to give to me, I'm gonna run it and the single time or one by one without wasting your time, right? But to stop that, we use time parameter over here. The second disadvantage of the Paramiko is we have to use \m at the end. Now, the third disadvantage of Paramiko is that after sending the code, as I told you, we need to convert the bytecode, to convert into the bytecode of each and every command. But for reading output, we need to decode that output. We need to decode that output. So these are three advantages and three disadvantages of Paramiko. Now let's move towards theoretical part. Now welcome to Paramiko. Paramiko is a pure Python which supports this. You just need to keep this in mind, guys. This supports Python version 2.7 or 3.4 plus, right? And the second thing is the SSH version 2 should be configured on the Paramiko. That you need to keep in mind. Paramiko will be worked on SSH version 2 only, right? So these are the two key factors that we need to keep in mind during jumping on the Paramiko. If you really wanted to go deep, definitely there are RFCs. I hope you are aware of RFCs. Like it's like software version that we used to get it, right? So if you really wanted, you can just have a look of this 4254 RFC, which is the latest one nowadays. And there are few changes that has been uploaded in the Paramiko library. Right? Let's go towards this RFC and let's have a look afterwards. Now let's start with our practicals. So let me go to Paramiko. I'll create our first and foremost lab named as lab 1. Named as lab 1. Now, can anyone quickly tell me that is the telnet lib is an inbuilt library or is the external library that we have downloaded it externally?
That it's inbuilt.
Right? So this telnet lib is a inbuilt library. So this telnet lib is a inbuilt library, right? It means that no need to import, my bad. It means no need to install this library manually. What you have to do is you just need to write import and it will use the same. But it is not the same with Paramiko. Not the same with Paramiko. Guys, you need to install Paramiko separately. You need to install Paramiko separately. Then how to install it? So I will tell you two ways, from CLI and from GUI, right? In the PyCharm only. So let's move towards CLI. So CLI, when we studied module functions, right? So at that time we have seen how to install any of the module. Just go to the terminal. You hit pip list. In the pip list, pip list will show you the list of what? List of modules which is installed, right? So if you see that Paramiko is already installed, right? But how to install it, I'll tell you. Pip install Paramiko. If you install like this, right now it is showing me that requirement is already satisfied. But in your case, it will gonna install the Paramiko in the system. This is the one way to install Paramiko. Now the another way to install Paramiko is go to the settings here. I hope you can able to see. Go to the settings, or else from go to file or edit somewhere. Let me check where is settings option. Guys, can you see the settings over here? No, that is fine. Now let me know if you see the settings option.
In the file menu?
Yeah, just check.
I can see in the file menu settings.
Is it?
Yeah, I do have or control plus alt plus yes.
I guess in Mac with, yeah, here you can go to settings menu. Let's see, show number. No, this settings is different. I want that settings. Okay, wait. This is Mac, I believe. But we used to have settings in file only, guys. Let me go to the settings. Settings. No, this is not. No. Okay. Wait. Let's check where is it. So guys, whoever has that Windows, right? You can just hit Control Alt S. The settings bar will be open in front of you, right? So let's go preferences. Yeah, here, like this, right? This is the setting for you. Here in Mac, those who have Mac, name as preferences, right? So from here, you have to go to the after you went to the this, you just check all the settings over here, right? And what you need to do is go to the projects, right? Whatever the projects that you have, go to the Python interpreter, go to the Python interpreter. And guys, if you see, there are the libraries or install is here, right? If you need to install any library, just click on plus, just write the name of that library, Paramiko, right? The version will gonna shows to you, which is 2.11, and hit install package. If you install that package, that library will gonna install over here, right? And that's it, right? So these are the two ways to install the Paramiko in your system. Now let's start, right? I have already installed that.
You can check it from here as well. Python 3.9. Right click, you'll get the settings. Python, no, here at the last and right hand side, Python 3.9.
Yeah. Here now, interpreter settings. Yes. Yeah, correct. So from here as well, you can just go and just hit interpreter settings. But this is a shortcut, right? I just wanted to check. Okay, so let's move ahead with Paramiko. Import Paramiko, right? It's the same one like what we did in the previous sessions. Like we have imported that Paramiko and we are taking one by one element from here now, right? Let's start. Now, guys, if you remember one thing while doing SSH to any of the device. So for those who really don't know how to configure SSH, I have one demo device where we're gonna configure the SSH now. Let's quickly move towards our lab. So this is my device where the SSH has not been configured. This has not been configured. Let will configure the SSH now. Let's say this is my switch, right? So I'll configure the SSH. Quickly tell me first what we will do, guys. We will set the IP address of this particular switch. So I'll write the host name, right? This switch is, I guess, 4, right? So host name has been completed. I'll give my default gateway of this. I have default gateway 192.168.4.1, right? Then I'll configure the VLAN as well, interface VLAN, IP address 192.168, which what is the name of this switch 4, right? So it will be 224.255.255.255.0, which is /24 subnet, and then motion, right? That's it about our VLAN. If we exit, one more thing here, as I'm using the Google Cloud, you just need to hit no IP routing, right? Because I don't, there is L3 switch, right? And now we will start with our configuration of the what switch. Oh, I will close that session. No issues. Okay, now let's move ahead. Let's check do show IP interface brief. Yes, the IP has been configured. Let's configure SSH as well. So how to configure SSH? Go to username, Dheeraj, password, Cisco, right? Then I'll not give enable password. If you want to just hit enable password, privilege, I'll give privilege as 15. Usually I have given 15, let's give 15. Line VTY 04 because only 4 users can log in at a time. Login locally. Then I'll give transport input all. Then what you guys will do? IP domain. Oh, I need to exit from here, right? And then I'll give IP domain name. Let's give si.com. Okay. Then I'll generate a crypto key. Generate RSA. I will give as buffer as 1024. Guys, keep this in mind. Don't give 512 and all. Just give 1024 only. And I can see my SSH has been enabled, right? SSH has been enabled. Just write the configuration. Oh, sorry, do right. That's it. Let's try to ping our main switch 192.168.4.1. Yes, I can ping. Let's ping it from outside that switch, whichever we have configured. Yes, we have the connectivity of 224. Now, next part is we have seen that how to configure the SSH. Now, at the first time, right after configuring the SSH, if you're doing SSH to any of the system, what message that you're gonna get in front of you guys? Anyone remember? Anyone?
What did you ask? Please, could you repeat the question, please?
So let's say if you are doing the SSH to any of the router or switch, right?
Mhm.
There is one pop-up will gonna come up in front of you. Anyone remember that pop-up?
Yeah, means are you going to would you like to connect? Means you have to say yes, like that kind of pop-up it comes.
What is that pop-up means?
Means it is asking for permission, and yeah, I never
Sheikh?
thought about it. Yeah.
Sheikh, tell me, what is that pop-up means?
Mm.
Is the Sheikh is here? RCCI expert? Yes,
The
he's
pop-up?
on. No, I'm asking Sheikh, not you, Maharoma. Anyone? Okay.
I think it's
Uh-huh.
about key. SSS key.
Have you guys heard about fingerprint? Right. So let's say let's go ahead. It's not networking class, but I just wanted you to know. 192.168.4.224. I have given Dheeraj and Cisco, and the port will be. Yes, when you connected any of the device first time, right? If you get this message, right? It's a fingerprint. You're just asking for the security, right? The SHA-256. If you heard about security levels, right? SHA, DS, parameters, encryption algorithms. So it is just asking that he is using SSH RSA 1024, and then we used to click OK, and then we can log into that particular switch. So our Python code will don't know this particular message and what to do, because in the telnet what we have observed that we are sending the IP addresses, then we are sending the password. But here what is happening is for sending the IP address and password, and then we were sending the command in telnet, right? This is username, this is password, and this was command that we were sending. But here after giving username and password, we cannot directly send command. There is a pop-up. There will be a pop-up in front of us. So our code will don't know how to click OK and all. So for that, guys, here in Python, in Python for dealing with Paramiko, right? We have one particular function who can take care of this particular fingerprint message, right? To hit OK to save that key and move ahead, and that key will get like you're gonna remember that key for future logins as well, right? Now, first, tell me in the telnet lib how we were using to connect. What was the object and what was the function that we were using in the telnet lib to connect to any device? What is the first function? Anyone remember?
Get past.
Gate pass. Is the gate pass is the function to connect to the switch?
Telnet,
I
telnet.
think telnet lib.
Yeah, telnet lib dot telnet,
Telnet,
right? So here, what we will do, guys, here we'll use the same, but rather than tn object, here I'll use SSH client. I'll use SSH client is equal to, it's a variable, right? There telnet lib dot telnet. Here we have Paramiko, right? Paramiko dot, we have SSH client as a class. SSH client as a class. If you want to check, you can directly go to this particular class name as SSH client, and it will gonna take care of this stuff, all the SSH stuff. No need to write SSH -l and username and password and all, right? So it will gonna take it automatically. So this is what, let me write it for you. It's for creating an SSH client object. SSH client object, right? This is what the SSH command is. Now let's move ahead. Now I told you, right? If you let's print the type of this first. It will give you more overview, and I'll explain as well. So let's run this code. If you see, guys, the type of Paramiko client.ssh, it means that we have a SSH client class inside this Paramiko, which will deals with your SSH configurations or SSH login with your device, right? Let's comment this part. Let's move ahead and take care of, let's write who will gonna take care of that fingerprint error, right? So just, this is very important command. So just have a look. So I'll write taking care of fingerprint message, right? So who will gonna take care of that? It's SSH client dot connect, and here, my bad, not connect. Here you just need to write set missing host key policy, and here you need to write Paramiko dot auto add policy. Auto add policy, guys. See, this is the inbuilt command to handle that error. To handle that is not an error. To handle that particular pop-up, to hit OK, right? So always keep this in mind. If you're using Paramiko, you have to mention this command any which ways, right? Now we'll write a passage in front of the user that connecting. So let's say we'll connect with our 224 only, 4.224, right? And here, okay. Now quickly tell me in the telnet lib, right? Let me open any telnet lib. Do we have? Okay, yeah. In the telnet lib, what we were doing to connect? This was the first line. Then we were using read until username and password and all, right? So here no need to use this read until and then send the command. Now the things will get advanced from here. What we will do, I'll simply call SSH client dot connect, and here I'll pass all the arguments. What is this connect? Connect is a function. Connect is the function which will accept all the keywords. Let's say your host name, your port, your username, your password, your key, your timeout, right? All the functions is written over here. So according to that, you just need to pass the function. So first, my host name will be what? Host name will be your particular IP address, 192.168.4.224, right? Then if you want to mention port, that is fine. If you don't want to mention port, that is also fine, because Paramiko always works on port number what? 22. And if you check This is a keyword argument. This is a keyword argument we are passing. And here, if you see, this is the what default argument. If you check where is this SSH port, right? It is already been assigned as 22. So if you are either if you are giving the SSH port, that is fine. If you are not, that is port is equal to 22. Here I'll write username. What is username of our switch? It's Dheeraj and password is Cisco. Okay, until this line. Any issues? Anyone? Any line you are not getting?
While you are SSHing the devices, assuming this is my host name SSH switch 4, we are not providing any port number to the terminal.
So you mean to say that if you are doing SSH, you are not providing any terminal, sorry, port number to the terminal,
Port
right?
number, yes, we are not providing.
Why do you think so? See, if you are
Because
doing SSH, right, in the background, right,
Mhm.
in the background of the terminal, let's consider if you hit interface IP address this, that particular interfaces will directly go into the devices and set that up. So how do you assume that why the interface command is there? There should be some coding behind it, right? That it will gonna
that will be
open.
I
Mhm.
think that will be taken care by the router itself, right?
Yes, so same here as well. It is, see, don't consider that this is your actual network. Here as well, if you're not giving, it will take automatically. It will use the default values.
No. Actually, my question is when I'm logging to the devices and the SSH, then IP addresses
Hmm.
or host name, it will automatically redirect to the username and password.
Hmm.
And all the things will be taken care by the router itself. So like the Python it is a user, right?
Mm-hmm.
So device will taken care if someone is providing the IP addresses, username and password,
Mm-hmm.
then nothing is required. Means this is my doubt.
But username and password and IP address is always required, right?
Yeah, user and password is required. That means if
Port is not
jump into
required if you're not giving, but while SSH we know, right? It should go via port number 22 only. If you're not giving, that is fine. It
okay.
depends on you. Let's say if you telnet to any of the telnet, or you can say SSH to any of this. Let's say if I'm doing SSH, or let's take telnet, right? Let's say 192.168.4.221. Either you can write port over here or not. Does that matter?
So where you are writing?
Does this matter? Not sure, but I hope you are getting it. See, once if you're telnetting something, if you want to give a specific port, you can directly mention the port also. You can,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, we can.
optional, right? Same over here in Python. So if you wanted to give as 22, you can. If you not,
okay.
you can, like it's your choice. Let's move ahead. Anyone have any concern until this line? Okay, line number 7 is clear. Why we are using that? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's now I'll write a comment for you guys. See, I'm writing a comments to just understand, because after few days you're gonna lose what we have studied. Connection is active or not. Now we will check that our connection, like means our interpreter has went inside, or like I mean to say that we're gonna check that our interpreter has logged into the device or not. If we'll go inside that or not, or is there any issues? So guys, in Telnet we don't have that feature to check, but in Paramiko we have a feature. We have a command actually to check that are we inside to that router or not. So here the command is get transport is active, not is alive, is active. So what this command will do? This command will give you the output in the Boolean format. In the Boolean format. it will gives you that this particular SSH gate transport means your session or your interpreter is inside your router. Let's say this is router 1 or switch 1, you are at this position. If you are at this position, this will be true. If there are any errors or there are any consequences going to happen while login, it will be false, right? So this is very useful command to check that your SSH connection is successful or not, right? So, and then what you can do, here in telnet lib, are we closing the session? No, right?
Just exit.
Exiting, right? But that what we were doing, we were sending that command as and then exit, and then we used to get the exact results. But here, guys, rather than doing that, here Paramiko has their own command. See, things will gonna improve from here, right? So I'll write a message for the user that print closing connections. We have a separate command for this. We have separate command for this in Paramiko, which is SSH client dot close. Simple. It will close our connections. Will close our connection. That's it about our first program of Paramiko, which will gonna just log into device, and this command will tell us that we have successfully logged in to the device or not. Let's run the code. See, I'm connecting to 224 now. It is showing true. Sorry, it is showing true and closing the SSH session. It means we successfully logged in to 224. We successfully logged into 224. And here this result means we are at this position. Anyone has any concern in lab 1? Okay, move ahead. Now we will see how to send the command. Now in telnet lib, we use tn.write object. tn.write object to send any command. But the drawback was we need to convert it to the byte and all, right? Now in Paramiko, what we're gonna do is here, after connecting to the device, what we'll do, okay, before sending any command to the device, any one of you knows quarks?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what is quarks and why we use this quarks.
If you have a multiple keyword arguments, means you don't know the how many arguments you are passing keyword arguments, then in that case
but what is the output and what is the input? So output was, let's say if you are giving any keyword argument, right? So output was dictionary, right? And if you're giving dictionary, you will get this type of output, right? This is the one phase that we have seen during quarks. Same we're gonna use over here. If you guys remember the quarks, there as well I told you that if you don't know n number of parameters over here, what you're gonna do, you can write lot of parameters over here, but it will be tricky if you wanted to deal with multiple devices at a single time. Hence we are using quarks. So how to use quarks? It's very simple. You just create a dictionary. Let's say I'll create a dictionary as router, and here only, guys, I'll pass host name. Guys, be aware of this particular keys, right? This key should be here only. Then and then it will be gonna assign, because in the connect function we have same keys. It's similar to keyword arguments only. If you still have a doubt, go and check our quarks video. 4.224, and here comma, what is, I'll just pass username, and here I'll pass Dheeraj, comma, I'll pass password, right? What is our password? Cisco. That's it. Now tell me how to initialize quarks, how to write quarks.
***.
Very good. Star what? What should I write now?
Router.
Variable.
Any
No, but
router, yeah.
here it's a router, right?
Mm.
Router is a variable. So what it will do, star router, it will gonna convert this host name. Okay, let me use the comment. I'll comment that line, so it will be easy for you to compare both. So I'll comment this line, and here I'll write SSH client dot connect, and here I'll write star router, right? Star router. So what this star will do, star will convert all the dictionary key values into keyword arguments like this. So it's a one and the same thing. If you see, then you will in the mood that why we are using Quarks. So guys, it will be very difficult or tricky to use this type of format to deal with multiple devices or multiple routers, right? And hence we are using Quarks for here. So let's use the same. I have just changed it to the Quarks. Let's see we are getting true output or not. So I have run the code connecting to 224, and here I'm getting true as usual. Nothing has been changed. This is what the Quarks is, right? Let me copy this and I'll paste it to the Colab just for your reference. So let me create Paramiko. I have pasted your code. If you want to have a look, you can go and have a look in the Colab as well. Now let's move ahead. How to send the commands in Paramiko. So guys, in telnet.
Sorry, here the key in the dictionary we have defined the key values: host name, username, and password. Instead of host name, I can use any name. Might be host.
No.
No,
That's what I told you, right? If you go to connect, right? So here there is a key which is host name.
Okay.
Right? Either if you don't want to write host name, like I'm telling about this option. Right?
Okay.
If you really don't want to write host name, what you can do, simply remove this host name. Remember the keyword argument? First value will go to the host name only.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Right?
So this
way you can write it.
Okay. This name should be exactly the same.
Exactly, because that's what it has been designed, right? We have studied the functions, right? How it functions works. The name should match. The A value should match A value. You cannot write C while calling that function.
Okay.
Well, let's move ahead. How to send the commands. So, as in telnet lib, we have just written pn.write and we send the command. But in Paramiko, the things will be different. Now, here there are two things in Paramiko. First thing is your SSH client. SSH client, because there the word pn will gonna take care of telnet lib.telnet of that function or class, you can say. Here we have telnet SSH client, which will gonna take care of SSH session. Gonna take care of SSH session. But for sending command in Paramiko, you have to invoke a shell. You have to invoke a shell. Now, what is invoking a shell? You can consider in a layman word that you have to invoke a new tab for sending the command, right? And the variable who will gonna take care of that will gonna save this session in one of the variable, right? We're gonna save the session. Let's say I'm gonna save the session in a session in SSH. Name of the variable. I'm saying name of the variable. So to be precise, if I wanted to go give the name to that particular session, I'll give shell. Right. So keep this in mind. If interviewer asks you that, okay, tell me in Paramiko how many variables you're gonna use to deal with like from the starting until the sending the command. So at that time, you have to tell that the Paramiko use two variables. First variable, it's used to deal with or used to track the SSH session, right? And the second is if you need to send any command, we have to invoke the shell. To handle invoking that shell or sending any command, we have to use shell variable. Like variable name could be anything. right? You can use SSH in the place of SSH client. You can use anything else, right? So, but I would recommend to use same variable names because it will be easier for you as well, right? So always keep in mind SSH client will gonna take care of SSH session, and here hence we are writing the same. We are closing the SSH session, but if you want to send any command in Paramiko, you have to invoke the shell. Don't worry, it will be very like easy for you when once you get practice in that. So how to invoke a shell? The command is similar until this part. Let me comment out this because we are using quarks, right? Now, after this, what we will do that we will invoke a shell. So I just told you I'll use shell object, and here how to invoke shell. So from which variable I need to invoke the shell, guys? Let's say I need to invoke a shell, right? Who will be our first variable? Because I need to invoke a shell from the SSH session only, right? So who is taking care of SSH session?
Router.
No,
SSH
which variable?
SSH client. SSH client.
Yes. So here our SSH client is taking care of our SSH session, and hence we will invoke that shell from the SSH client only. So SSH client dot invoke shell. See guys, if you see this type of logic in the website, it will be really confusing. You will see, okay, why we are invoking the shell? Why we use SSH client only for that? So this is the reason behind it. Now, after invoking the shell, if you want to send any command, right? Just like we are here now, right? We have just invoked the shell. If you want to send the command, are you going to send the command in invoke shell or SSH client? Tell me.
In the cell.
Yes, in the shell. So for sending command in the shell, which for sending command, which is our variable?
Cell.
Yes. So for sending command, we have to use shell variable now onwards. So I'll write shell dot send is the command to send any particular commands to the router. So I'll write show IP interface brief. And one more thing, drawback number 2, \n always be there. \n always be there. That's it. Now, this is the first funda. Second, how we are tracking the output in the telnet lib. Anyone remember?
Tracking means
Like reading or
reading means read.
Yeah, I have given the answers only. So if we are using telnet lib, we were using read all function, right? Which will gonna read all the output. Same here in the Paramiko, we have, I'll write that name. Okay, tell me, will that output, whatever that output that I'll get, will be in the SSH client or shell?
In the cell.
SSH client.
In the cell.
See,
In the shell.
SSH client is just taking care of SSH session, nothing else. Now here, whatever we are writing or whatever we are sending, whatever the output it is, it will not go to here, right? It will just store it over here, and the shell is a responsible person over here. And hence, what we will write, shell dot receive. Now there read all, here receive. There read all, here receive. But Paramiko is very precise library. What is my precise, or you can say that it's very customized library. You can customize a lot of things over here in Paramiko. So Paramiko supports, or Paramiko says that if you don't want entire command output, I will give you the option to give me a buffer. I'll give you the option to give me a output buffer, right? So I'll write it for you that reading from the shell output buffer. Now, what is the limit of this output buffer? So guys, usually the limit of this output buffer is 65535, right? So limit in the sense, it will, believe me, it is 2 raised to the power almost 16, right? It will start from 0, obviously. So it will if you can imagine that this particular limit will gonna include hell of your data, like you can say a number of data, and that is not stored on the router or switch any which ways. So it's better to give highest buffer. If you want to play with that, you can definitely play. It's your call, right? This is the highest buffer. Now let's print the output. How to print? First, we'll print the type of the output. Which type of output is this? Now let's run the code. So here we are connecting to the 2 to 4, right? Tell me what type of data is this? Bytes?
Oh, okay. It is the byte. It is automatically sending
need-
the byte. We need to encode decode it.
Yes. So now tell me, do we need output in a bytes?
No, dot decode.
Yes, we need output in a which format, guys?
Decoded format.
No. We need
No.
output in a string format.
Okay.
Just like in telnet lib, what we were doing, remember that b was coming in front of that, and then we converted that to the string. Then we were getting the exact output as same as to the switch, right? So here as well, we will decode it. If you really wanted to print this output, now let's print it. Now let's check, is it the same output that we guys were looking for or not? See, is it the same output? No, right? So for that, what we need to do?
Dot decode, like in the
Yes.
telnet.
Here we need to write dot decode. Need to write dot decode. And let's run the code. See, now I'm getting what? The show IP interface brief result. Is it the results? Is it the correct result? Show IP interface brief?
No.
No. Now the third disadvantage, third or first, I believe. Let me check. No, first. The first disadvantage of Paramiko. It could be advantage, it could be disadvantage. It could be advantage, it could be disadvantage. Now, Paramiko is such a function, guys. It's such a function that actually it's a very fast library, right? So it will not wait for the output of the switch or router. We need to tell Paramiko, wait for 1 second or wait for 2 seconds, at least 2 seconds to the router for the router that router or switch can provide the output and we can read it, right? So to stop Paramiko, you have to use this command every time in Paramiko. Time.slip, and here 2 seconds. Time.slip, here 2 seconds. Now, guys, if you run this code, you will get the output. Now it is going to the switch and see, you're getting the output as show IP interface, right? So this is very important. This is very important.
How I'll decide the time?
Yes, good question. How you're gonna decide the time? So let's say here, let's write show run.
So it will maybe more than 2 seconds.
Exactly. That's what. See, because obviously it will be more than 2 seconds. In 2 seconds, we cannot read the output, right? See, show run 2 seconds, because even though if you are writing the same command on router, right, it is just use building configuration will be in 2 seconds only. Paramiko will not wait until that time. So hence, for show running like configuration, that config or that command will, we know that this particular show running command is gonna take much time rather than other commands. So we can precisely give 10 seconds, but not more than 10 seconds. And believe me, if you are giving 10 seconds, no, like consider the router, data center router as well, which has lot of configuration in it. That particular, this 10 second, we're gonna take care of this timing. As my particular configuration don't like my particular router don't have that much configuration, I can even give 5 seconds as well. Let's run the code. So for now, let's say if I wanted to give 2 commands, right? We'll see that in next lab.
Here we are not using terminal 0. Oh, okay.
Exactly. We have to. More is there.
Okay, okay.
We have to use it. Because see, Paramiko is like, okay, I'll send, let me open terminal. I'll show you in better way. So Paramiko says, okay, we are at this part. Sorry, we are at this part. What he will do, Paramiko will do, sorry, show run, right? Building configuration 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Paramiko don't know to hit spaces and all. We have to use terminal length 0 only in Paramiko. In NetMiko, no need. Actually, it is taking care. So here as well, we need to use terminal length 0. Let's see. This 5 second will definitely gonna work, guys. I believe so because I don't have much configuration in my switches. See, right? So let's use 2 commands now. I'll use show version as well over here. And this time is needed for just for showing any configurations.
This time is for single command or for all commands?
Again, the good question. I'll come back to that. Give me a sec. See, what is the function that has been written in the Paramiko? So function says, we all know that Paramiko is the line by line output. Not Paramiko, Python always use line by line, right? But in the send function, if you are sending any command, in Paramiko, you need to keep this in mind that if you send it, then it will call time again. If you send it, then it will call time again. If you send it, then it will call time again. So to reduce this, we have tactics. We're gonna merge all the Paramiko codes, and we know that okay, only for show run, I need to wait for 10 seconds or 5 seconds, but not for show version or not for any other commands. So that will gonna take care. But right now, this is what is happening. Getting yes or no?
Yeah, it is complicated.
So things will gonna complicated, no? Let's move ahead, right? So if you hit show run, you'll see right now. Let me check the output. So this is the output of show version. You are getting the show version as well as the show run output, right? So guys, just for you, this is the I can say the first class where my speed is too low. I used to complete entire Paramiko in one session because I'm getting responses from the students. But here, I thought let's give much more time to understand. Okay, let's move ahead. Now one more thing. Here, I'll improve some logic over here. I don't want that each and every time it should close. So what I'll do, rather than this, I'll write this. If the connection is active, then and then close it. If it is already closed, no need to close it again. Getting the same logic. If the connection is active, and which way it will give true or false as a Boolean result, and we have if condition to deal with that, right? I'll write if the connection is true, then and then close the connection. Same. Let's run the code. It will log into the 224, and after login, it will hit terminal and 0, 5 second wait, show command, show version, 5 second wait, show run, 5 second wait. See, now I'm not getting any output. Why? Just check it quickly. What is the issue? Show version I'm getting. For show run, I'm not getting. Why? Should be more. Let's say 7 seconds. See, this time is like you're gonna face issues in time just for show commands. Configuration wise, obviously router will not take time to configure anything, right? Router or switch. Okay.
So,
But
so we can
don't
we can't put more than 10, yeah? It's just us 10
depends
is
on you.
okay.
Like let's say if you're working on data center router, right? But so in the data center router, you know that there are hell of routes, hell of like I can say the configurations are there. So at that time, the configuration will be more. So you have to manage this time just to show the configurations. But I can bet you that after learning Netmiko, and if that device is supported by Netmiko, you will not use Paramiko. But let's wait for that. Okay. This is what the Paramiko is for showing the configuration. Quickly, let's use get pass rather than using this. Tell me, anyone, how to use get pass?
Get pass, we have to import the get pass.
First, you have to
Pass
Pass dot
import
get pass. It's simple,
input,
right?
input.
Import get pass. Yes. So in PyCharm, no, if you're writing get pass dot get pass, automatically PyCharm will take care of that. If I use time, automatically import time has been there. Getting you have to import time as well, right? For using time. PyCharm is
In my cases, it is not happening automatically.
You have to pay for it. No, it should happen. It's an automatic importing. You have to turn on some settings. Just have a look in the Google if you get it.
Okay,
If not, then I'll check.
Okay.
Right? It's just getPass.getPass. It will automatically import the library for you. So how do you use this? So I'll tell you like this. GetPass. Don't write getPass entirely, guys. Then it will not be imported. Just write this. If you're getting suggestions, hit enter. Dot get pass. If you write this dot get pass. Okay, let's try. Here I have not used OS, right? I have not imported OS. OS dot, right? Let's say I'll use list dir, no, it will automatically be imported. If you check. See.
Okay.
Get pass dot get pass, no, not get user, get pass. That's it. And here I'll use that environment variable funda. OS dot get. Tell me what was that command?
Environment. OS dot env dot get.
OS dot environment dot get. Good. Here, what was the keyword? Anyone remember?
Your
db
keyword is
underscore user address.
db, yes.
That's it. So here I'm considering both. Here I'll use get pass. Here I'll use that. Let's run the code. No issue. What is the issue? Why it is connect? Why it is not working? No, because here it should be below this. Let's run it. Okay. Password is Cisco. Because username it has already taken. Now connecting to 224. That's it. If you don't want the gate pass, use the same method. OS dot environment dot get. And here, what was the keyword? db underscore
Password.
I guess pwd was there.
PWD, yes.
Run the code. No need to give password as well. It will automatically take username and password from the environment that you give. Okay. Sweet. Yeah. Good to go. Now let's take another code. Let me copy this code first and paste it to the whole app. Okay, then. Now let's take another code to what? Configure something. Let's take lab number 2. Here, what I'll do, I'll copy this entire stuff. Login and all will be the same for each and every commands, right? Now here, I'll invoke the shell again. Shell is equal to SSH client dot invoke shell, and here I'll send. Now what we will do, we will configure the OSPF and this what loopback interface, as well as we will use two routers. We'll use two routers, multiple routers, you can say. Let me write OS over. Now let me comment this part. Let's copy this first. Comment this. Now we'll use multiple routers, two routers. So how to use that? Hit press. I'll copy. I'll paste. Here I'll give router number 1. Here I'll give router number 2. Username and password will be same. Only IP address is changing. 90 and 91. Right? Have a look. Here I'll write router is equal to router 1, comma router 2. Router 1, comma router 2. That's it. And here, tell me, what should I do now?
For
Wait, good.
for maybe devices in router.
Just set routers.
Okay.
For
routers in router in routers.
very good. Router and routers.
In routers.
That's it. Let
then
me get that.
Yeah. How you are doing this one in this space?
Everything in the indentation.
Yeah.
Here you just need to select all and hit tab. That's it. Okay. That's it. And guys, one more thing. Let's say right now I'm dealing with this, only this particular loop. But at the point of the time you got to know, okay, you have to intend everything. So what you can do, just select all. I guess I think I told you earlier as well. Use this reformat code. Use reformat code, right? Here, optimize import. What does optimize import means? If you use optimize import, you can see here we are not using get pass, right? We are just using this environment variable. And that is the reason optimize import means it will remove all the extra libraries that you have imported. Here we need time, but right now we are not doing anything with time. If you hit this, no, this get pass and time will get removed, and OS as well. See, OS is there, hence it has been removed from here. Getting? So that is what the optimize, reformat the code. It will always intend your code as well, right? So let's move ahead. Shell, after that, we have to send the commands. How to send the command? Shell dot send.
Let's send.
Here, I'll write config t \n. Don't forget \n, obviously. Hit interface. IP address. Guys, have a look at it. It's simple, but after the task that I'm gonna give to you, it is not that much simple. I have one task for you. Let me copy. Okay. Okay, let's do the configure the OSPF as well. Router OSPF 5 process ID \n shell dot send net address of default. Oh no, I'll not put default now, guys. It will screw my lab. let's say 10.0, 255.255.255.0, area 0 \n. That's it. Let's say after that, if you need to check, you can check it. Send. And here, tell me if I need to check show protocols. Will the show protocols will work in this mode? I'm in this router OSPF, right? Will the show protocols, if I write show protocols, will work over here?
Yeah. Do show protocol.
Yes, you have to use do show protocols. Either if you want to use, or else you can use and then use show protocol, depends on you. Just to be safer side, I'm giving time dot slip as 2 seconds, which is like normal, guys. 2 seconds is not a big deal. Output is equal to shell dot receive. Tell me the timer. Usually you can put 10,000 or like 10,000 you can put. That's fine. If you wanna use entire buffer, you can. Decode, print, output, right? And here, what is remaining? Tell me what is remaining.
Closing the connection.
Exactly. Yes. SSH client dot get transport is active. If it is active, print closing connections.
Sir, if you won't get any this kind of keywords in Paramiko, then what will be the issue? I mean, like what you're
Keywords in
typing.
the sense I'm not getting.
I mean, once you are like doing SSH, then the whole sentence is coming SSH dot client or some other options are.
Mhm.
If in
Suggestions you mean to say?
yeah, if it's not coming, then what will be the
Actually there is the what you just need to you just need to turn on some plugins, man. I need to check once. If it is not, I think it should be by default only, but if it is not coming, we have to check. I have to check in Google first.
okay.
For others, guys, is it, what do you say? Is it coming automatically?
Yeah, it is coming.
For few things are coming and few things are like we need to type and then it's getting a red color.
Oh, is it? So why?
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Good question. Who asked? Majid, right? Good
Yes.
question. So I'll tell you why. I completely forgot that to tell you guys. Sorry for that. Okay. So what happened now? For those who's using Python and PyCharm for a long time, that is fine for those. Or let's say if you install at the first time, that is also fine. But sometime what happened now? Whenever if we are installing PyCharm, right? If you ever observed at the first step for creating any project, there is a one step named as virtual environment. Right at the first time, I told you that don't play with this virtual environment stuff, right? So if you hit any new project at the first time, if you are running it, the new project, that is fine. But at the second time, if you are creating new project, what PyCharm will do, no? PyCharm will create new virtual environment for you. PyCharm will create new virtual environment for you. And this first virtual environment will gonna sync with your machine. But this second is not. The second is not. Now, what is the solution for that? Or what is the like permanent way to do that? So for and why? I'll tell you the impact first. If this has been created and which has not been synced with your in your local machine, what you're gonna do is, even though if you install Paramiko, in Majid, quickly just go to the terminal of the PyCharm and hit pip install Paramiko and tell me that is it showing already installed or it is again installing.
Yeah, just give me a moment. I will.
Quick. Meanwhile, I'll connect my charger. Done?
Yeah, it's already installed.
It's already installed. So I'll tell you, for those where if you're getting any errors that no module, Paramiko and all, right? It is not started. Okay. So for those, after installing Paramiko via terminal or via CMD, while running the code in PyCharm, if you're getting issues like no model install Paramiko, right? So it's the issue of your virtual environment. It's not PyCharm, it's not Python issue or your Paramiko issue. So during that time, the solution for each and always there is a solution, right? So the solution for that is the way that I taught you today how to install libraries. So always go to the PyCharm and install the libraries from here only. So it will gonna use or it will gonna help you in two ways. First, whatever library that you will install from here, if it is in virtual environment 1, automatically it will sync with your machine. But if it is in virtual environment 2, then what you can do is whatever library that you're gonna use, it will be already installed into only, and hence there will no, you will not face any issues in future, right? So how to check it is there or not? You can even though go to the interpreter settings and check here after installing Paramiko from CMD or terminal as well. If it is not showing over here, it means you have different virtual environment. So you have to install that package here as well. Then and then via PyCharm you can run the Paramiko. Right? Now let's move towards our class. Here I'll write terminal monitor. Console is already been monitored. Okay. Now 91. I have a doubt, but let's give us a try. I fingers crossed. I don't want to lose the connectivity of router. It happens actually when I used to use OSPF, but let's see. That is running. One more thing. Stop. Here I just need to change. Where is that? It should print like this. Print working on what should I write? Give me a
Router.
sec. Yeah, give me a sec. I'm getting a call. Yeah, guys. So tell me, working on which?
Router.
Exactly. So I'll write like this.
F maybe. From the
Here as well. If you directly write curly braces, no, automatically F will there. See, let's write router.
Okay.
See.
It is only in the Paramiko or?
No, it's in Python.
Okay.
Now, not Python, PyCharm, my bad. And hence I told you, right? This will not going to happen in Visual Studio. For in Visual Studio, you have to install the plugins, and that's what people use PyCharm, which is very much compatible with Python. I didn't tell you at the first because I don't want you
Here, but
Which one is
to
better?
use the
Which is the best choice to use, either PyCharm or
I'll tell you. In a PyCharm or Visual Studio, you mean to say that?
Yeah, there are so many things are there. Like there's
See, it actually depends on user's choice, but in the
Node
live
plus
environment,
also. Node plus plus also, like we can.
as well. Yes, but depends on user's choice. But first thing, if you want my suggestion, I used to use PyCharm. There are two major things. In the live environment, everyone in my team, in my office, everyone is using Visual Studio because they are comfortable in that. But I'm comfortable in PyCharm, sorry. And I'm the only one person among the team of like 15 guys. I'm the only one developer who is using PyCharm. Why? Because I'm very familiar with it and I know the nut and bolts of PyCharm. Second thing, In the Visual Studio, you cannot compare two files. During, let's say, if you're testing your code, right? If you are like, let's say, deploying your code, or if you are testing your code, and if you need to compare, let's say, if you need to push your code to the Git, and you just need to compare your code with the Git branch code, at that time, Visual Studio will not going to help. Let's say I want to compare lab 1 and lab 2. You can simply select both of the files, hit Command D or Control D in Windows. It will show you the differences. See, first difference is this. If you want input time here, just click this arrow. Input time will be here as well, right? Input Paramiko is here, but the line is different. See, getting this highlighted part is not here. Getting this highlighted part is not here. If you want this, simply click this arrow. If you want this here, simply click this arrow. This will not going to happen in Visual Studio. Second, reformatting the code. It will not going to happen. If you hit like this, it is usually named as pipette format. Pipette is used, yeah, interview question, guys. I believe I have taken that when we taken the interview question. What is pipette? Pipette is a format to restructure your code according to the standards, right? Let's say you can restructure your code, reformat your code. Have a look of line number 22 now. See. Right? This type of things you will not get in Visual Studio, and hence I prefer Python. Got it? Let's run our code. Shoot. Yeah, see. PTY. I'm here. Done. But check, see, what is the issue? Loop back to has not. But if you observe over here, both of the routers has closed at the same time, and that means that after each and every command we are calling time, right? So here we have to use more time. Let's say 10 seconds. 10 seconds will be more. Let's use 5 seconds. But don't worry, we're gonna fix it when we use reformatted Paramiko module. There you can give your own time for own command. Let's say you know that show IP protocols will gonna take much more time, right? Oh man, okay, that's fine. See, done. Line protocol is up. Now it is working on this. That's it. We are good to go. Now
How to save this output in, I mean, in text format?
that we'll
Where
see. We have lab for that. Where we are, where we were. Actually, I just wanted to tell you one important thing I forgot. Yeah. So I was telling that will the route, I don't want router, I just want IP address. Tell me how to bring that IP address. Right now it is like showing like this, right? I want this IP address only. It should be working on this IP address, not entire dictionary, man.
Okay. It will be router, then host index.
Host
No,
name. It's a key, right? It's a
correct,
dictionary,
correct,
right?
host name.
No. Guys, tell me feedback, like for the other batches as well, that what do you say that if we started this module number 2 directly, and let's say if I tell you like, okay, see, router host name, it's a dictionary, it's a key, how to fetch the dictionary. If I explain right now only, will that be helpful, or taking module 1 first and then coming to the module 2 is helpful?
No, actually, module 1, module 2, it will be helpful. Or else we are discussing here Paramiko and we will go somewhere else.
Exactly. Because like there, no, what I will tell you, I'll kind of focus on this only. I'll not tell you much more explanation about dictionaries. What I'll tell you, okay, see, this is a dictionary, this is the key, this is the value, how to fetch the value, how to update the value. Complete dictionary, complete in like within 15 minutes. So that's what we have prepared, that we'll give entire Python first. And now we'll jump to a shape, because things will get easier. You'll got to know, okay, this is what dictionary is, why we are calling the keys, why keys are not be unique. Everything you know now. And that's what we are running behind. Like we are running ahead of this. Let's move ahead. I think the router has been configured. If you wanna check show run section OSPF. OSPF has been configured. Right? In this way, you can configure your modules. Now, what we will do, let's say if I want to use the data, or if I want what, let's not configure now. I want to store the data, right? Show IP protocols. Let's just 6 now. Store the data in file. 60, let it. Now you tell me what changes should I do? Store the data into the file, as well as first thing. Sorry, just
Open
let
a,
me-
I mean, we have to save the file, open a file.
Okay.
No, first of all,
Tell me the syntax. I know how I need to open the file. Tell me the syntax.
okay, which, no, and not here, down below.
Now here,
Not here.
yeah.
In the, after road number 39.
After 39. Okay, okay.
Because this is the output actually.
Exactly.
So then, with
Wait.
with open config.txt.
Let's not write config. Let's see protocols. Dot txt.
txt, then w. We're
Good.
writing w. As in file.
File.
Then file dot write. Then our output.
Exactly. Good, Jyoti. Nice going.
Then os dot.
What?
Os dot start file.
If you want to start the file, that's fine. Let's see. I don't want to start that file. Let it be.
Okay.
Right? You can use the same funda, creating folder and all, whatever it is, if you want.
Correct. Yeah.
Right now, I'll store my files here only. But protocols the only protocols will gonna use for 2 devices. It will gonna override. Should be like
Oh,
this.
no. The file name should be different. Maybe you can give
like
the
this.
date and time also. You can. Sorry.
Yeah, you can. It depends on you. Let's see. I'll use like this router, and the key is. That's it. Okay, run the code. See, Paramiko is faster, but you can consider my lab timing, Google Lab. Now it is showing me correct output. Working on this, closing connection. Working on 91, closing connections. See? Right? That's it about this lab to store. Now, again, we'll do changes. No, the homework I forgot. Before I forget, let me tell you the homework now. Okay, what was there? Guys, if you do this homework, no, believe me, you'll not face any issues in Paramiko. Huh? But try it today. I'll tell you. Let me press this code and I'll tell you. It's lab number 3 first. For the same. Z. I want you to work on this loop back, right? But here, what I'm doing, I'm giving this loop back manually, right? What you need to do is you need to configure. You need to ask user how many loopbacks you need to configure. How many loopbacks you need to configure. Let's say I have given you loopbacks. Let's say I want to configure 4 loopbacks on each of the routers, right? There you have to take, let's say if I entered 4, so you have to configure loopback interface 1, IP address 1.1.1.1, 24/24. You can also ask the net mask length as well. Then interface 2, 2.2.2.2, 255.255.0. Then interface 3, interface 4, or the 4 interface should be configured on the router, right? If user say 5, all the 5 loopback interface should configured on the router. Got with the assignment?
In a single router or multiple routers?
Multiple routers.
Then IP address will be different.
That is your concern. I have told you how to deal with the multiple devices.
No, that is fine. Means the IP addresses will be different for the loopback 1, 2, 3, 4.
Exactly. Think once. How? In previous batches, this question has raised by one of the student only, right?
Percentage value we can add it and we can do it.
Logic depends completely on you guys, but come up with me with the solution. Let's say you have to ask user how many interfaces, loopback interface you need to configure. If I say 4, you have to write interface loopback 1, 1.1.1, 2.2.2, 3.3.3. Means each interface name will be different. Loopback 2, loopback 3, loopback 4, and the IP address will be different.
Okay, each time user will manually put the IP addresses.
No, user will not. You have to generate it. User will just give you 4. 4
No,
means
the
you
IP
have.
addresses. The IP addresses will be definitely all depends on the planning and design, right? I cannot.
No, I'm
provide.
telling what should be the format that I want. So if user has entered 4, you have to create the loopback like a way that interface loopback 1, then the same 1.1.1.1, 255.255.255.0 first. Second, again interface loopback 2 until 4.
Okay.
Right? The format will be the same. Let's say 1.1 for loopbacks 1, 2.2 for loopback 2, 3.3 for loopback 3. This interface will be the same.
And for all the routers, the IP address will be same?
Yes, but like this is just for, it's not considered this is our live environment. That
okay, got it. Then
I know that there will be conflicts in the live environment. Let's not consider the live environment. This is just for your brush up.
Okay.
Got it? Got the homework? Okay, let's move
Yes.
ahead. Now, again, something we'll do advanced. See, Paramiko, no, we have designed Paramiko in such a way that we will start from the beginners, we'll end up till the developers, right? So things will get more complicated from here. Right? We will try to merge as much as we can that we have learned already, right? So it will gonna help you if you have a look of this code after a few days, like after a few months or few years, you'll see, okay, this is what, it's a easy task. At that time, it was very toughest. But if you format your code in like that way, no, it will gonna much more helpful for you in the future. Let's move ahead. So until this part, what we were doing, we were taking this IP addresses manually. Now what I wanted to do, that I need to take this IP address from a text file. To take this IP address from a text file. So what I'll do, tell me, what should I do? Step number 3. If I need to use this IP address from the text file, what will be the first step? Create the text file. IP.txt. Here I'll write, oh, sorry. Let me delete. I don't want to use capital letters. Okay, now let's move ahead. Here I'll write IP 192.168.1.90, 4.90, sorry, and 4.91. Okay. Now tell me, what should I change over here? So
Open
rather than
file,
using with,
open-
no guys, rather than using with here, what I'll do, I'll use like this. IP, sorry, IP is equal to this, open, like old format.
Okay. Open
That's it.
.txt. Okay.
Here, what I'll do for, rather than for, what I'll do, I want all the IP address should be in the list. Quickly tell me which is the function which will gonna convert all the things in the list. Come on. All the data inside the file into the list. Which is the function?
Open.
Eh?
Let
No.
No. Wait a moment.
Split. This split will gonna use to read the file and convert it to the list.
Okay. Reading the file and converted it.
Revision.
Read dot split line.
Exactly. So IP dot read
Read
dot
dot split lines.
lines. And we will save in small router, small IP. And here tell me, do I need this two dictionaries? No, we don't. I don't need this as well. Tell me now, what should I do? Now I have a list of IPs in the IP. Now
Then for
exactly the same thing, right? I'll write this. Let me replace as router only. Oh no, it's IP only, right? That says IP in what? It should be inside, let just tell me, IP in what?
for X in IP.
Exactly. Let's say here we have router, right? Let's say capital IP we have used. Tell me any keyword quickly.
No. In the IP we can say it is a IPS.
Yeah, good. Yeah, IPS. Here let's say
IP.
Only Jyoti is getting or rest of others? Are you guys getting or not? Right? Just give me. Maharama getting.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Little bit harder, sir.
Okay. So IP in IPs, then here I'll intend everything, because I think I need to intend this router only. Now tell me, what changes should I do in line number 18? Do I need to change anything?
Instead of host, we need to give the IP.
Here?
Yeah.
Sure.
No. Sorry. Now in the 92.68 4.90, there only.
Like this?
No, it is a variable.
Exactly. Okay. Here it should not be routers, it should be router. That's fine. Now it will take one IP and it will print. Let's say here, I don't want to configure OSPF now. Let's say show running configuration. Show running. I want terminal and 0 as well, right? Terminal length 0. Let's run. Here now, rather than protocol, let's save as config underscore this. Let's run code. Okay, before that, I'll give you 2 minutes just to quickly have a look of the code and tell me, is there any issues in this or not? If it is not, then I'll run the code. there are no issues, I'll run the code. Tell me. Go line by line and tell me if there are any issues. Sorry, my bad.
One right.
Good? Are we good? Shall I run the code? Yes, no. Okay, I'll run it. Check. Yes, we have the configuration. Right? In this way, you can store the configuration. Now, task, not task, but we'll take that task up now. Tomorrow, I wanted to take refactoration module. Right now, no, because it will gonna take time. It will not be covered. It's 40 minutes. We have 20 minutes. No? Okay, let's cover that. Hey. Want to be. Okay, guys, tell me, shall I take refactoration module? If you guys are ready to take new topic. If yes, I'll take that. If no, I'll take it tomorrow.
Tomorrow is a better
For
one.
me tomorrow.
Because
For me
today
tomorrow.
is very overloaded. It is very
You
complicated.
have to go through, sir.
I want a student who can tell me, sir, go ahead. We are getting everything. Okay, so let's not take refactoration module. Let's like play with the output first. As we have 20 minutes, let's utilize that.
I have a
Okay.
doubt. I run a code with the for loop. It was taking more than 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
That VLAN wala, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll troubleshoot after the class. It should not take actually. I need to check the connectivity.
So with your lab topology, when I imported, I'm not able to get anything on the switch. When I put the SSH, it's totally blank.
Yeah, the configuration is not. You have to
Yeah, but
configure
I
it
need to get
manually.
a prompt, right? I need to get a prompt to configure for the configuration. There still is like empty one. I mean, it's
Have
like
you installed the client?
Client.
EVNG client. You have to
Yes,
install
is
that.
there.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me
Then have
verify it. Yeah, let me verify it. I will verify.
verify, or else let's check the native. Like let's log in via native console rather, or not native, my bad. HTML5 console rather than the native console.
Okay.
Here we are not accessing your lab because the lab is in our local machine. No? Then the delay should not be there because only creating the for loop it is giving the delay. If I'm
We'll see, Jyoti. I have seen your code. I was about to just comment, but I thought, look, let's take it in the class. Okay, so the task is, or else let's take the issues first. Okay, Jyoti, right? Let's give the access to Jyoti. Let's take the issues. Jyoti, share your screen. So I have yeah, go ahead.
I have a question, may I?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Thank you, sir. Sir, when we are doing this loop 1, loop 2, loop 3, loop 4, those all the interfaces they are having different IP addresses, right? For a single device, that may be switch or router, whatever. While we're going to used in the multiple routers and switches,
Mm-hmm.
definitely the means according to the interface, the IP will be different. Then
Exactly.
how we will do the automation for if we are having 1,000 a number of devices to
Mhm.
automate,
Mhm.
then at the time how we will means
Okay. So at
configure.
that time, what you can ask your client is just to provide the IP addresses of the interfaces, right?
Mhm.
You have to
Mhm.
take that IP addresses into the Excel sheet.
Hmm.
Now you have to do one thing. When we'll study Excel now, you have to do that. First column will gonna consider your device name, which will be switch or router name. Second will
Hmm.
be interface name, which interface that you need to configure.
Mhm.
Third will be IP address and subnet mask, right? Whatever it is. That's it. You just need to take this particular data from your client, or else if it is in any the format, you just need to articulate this into the Excel code. Now you need to take one data from there and configure it according to that data, rather than asking user multiple times. Or let's say if user wanted to configure that 1,000 for the 1,000 devices, right? You should
Hmm.
not ask user for 1,000 times to enter the interfaces.
Hmm.
You have to just keep that data into the Excel file and take it from there one by one, one by one. That we will see when we learn Excel.
Okay, for example, if it happens like this, few devices are having 3 interfaces. For example, let's discuss with this loop only. We are not going to think about this Ethernet or fast Ethernet or gig. Just take example of a loop only. If some devices need to be configured 3 interfaces, if some devices require 6 interfaces, if some device require like multiple means variations will be there, then at that time what we will do?
Okay.
The time of
So,
automation, yeah.
so let's say this is your Excel, right? This is your Excel file, right? This is the Excel file that my code has been generating now, right? So I already have a code which will give you this type of result to me. Now, let's say in your case, what you can do is here the first column you're gonna write as device name, right? Second column will write as interface, right? And third is IP address. So let's say device R1, interface will be what? Interface gig GI 0/0. IP will be whatever you want it to be. Let's say I wanted to give 1.1.1.1 and then 255.255, whatever it is, or /24 network. Same R2. If you want R1 again, just write R1 again 1/1. Any interface again IP. Getting my point? So if you want,
Okay, sorry to interrupt. That means we need to maintain in the Excel sheet at first.
it will be easier for you. It will be easier for you to maintain that in Excel sheet.
Okay, so for example, if R1 means need to be configured 4 interface, then I need to mention.
Yeah,
here
just
the
simply write
R1
0.0 and just scroll it here like this.
No, I'm not asking how to maintain the Excel sheet. I'm asking this, if R1 means require 4 interfaces, then I will mention, means I have to mention in Excel sheet 4 interfaces. And if R10 is required 3 interfaces, then I have to maintain here in Excel sheet in 3 interfaces. So all the information I have to maintain at Excel sheet, then I will redirect it to my automation, right?
Yes, then you can use loop and then one by one we can take it from it. That is the first way. Second, if you have different interfaces, let's say Ethernet and gig, then you can use this funda only, because you will not know, right? But you know that your particular devices or client told you that, hey, go and configure each GI 0/0 to GI 0/10. Right? This GI will be similar.
Easy way, because
So
all are
here
unique
you can
now.
use for, yeah, this is unique. So you can use for loop for GI and then you can run the ranges function up to this. Right? This will be the same. You have to use 2 loops, one for this and second for configuration, one by one. If it is different, then it will be the best way to follow like this.
Okay, that means it will be redirected to Excel sheet and it will read from that and it will go to Python, and then it will execute. Okay, got it. It will fetch from Excel sheet. So before that, we
Yes.
will maintain. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, Murli, not Murli. Jyoti, you are the co-host. But guys, please don't stop my recording. You are a co-host now. Share your screen, please. Jyoti.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
sharing my screen. I hope it is visible. So this is my code.
Now I can see. Okay, wait. Yeah, scroll up.
That's it.
My import. Just click on that plus, click on imports. I need to check imports as well. Okay, OS time telnet from datetime, blah, blah, blah. Interface, user password, this is correct. TL you have taken as a variable. Telnet post, read until be username, user dot, okay, user dot encode is correct. Bytecode object, this is also correct. This is correct. Pass is what? Okay. Encode, this is correct. We are giving enable read until password. Okay, same password. Okay, TL does this. VLAN range. VLAN is this. Str of this encode. This is also correct. And show VLAN exit. Read all. What is okay? Saving that into the file. Now, Jyoti, open
Yeah.
your device CMD.
I think this is the switch to this. This is the switch.
Open your CMD. I cannot. I just see your PyCharm.
Okay. Let me.
Share your entire screen. No, not only PyCharm.
Actually, I was about to share the entire screen, but unable to. Let me stop and share screen. Switch to screen. This is my terminal.
Majid, see, this is what the HTML console is.
Yeah, I just check twice time, like package is also there, but I'm not able to get this HTML from HTML console as well.
There could be the issue with your machine that we're gonna see, because see guys, the same images everyone is using. Same
Yeah,
thing is
I do
same.
understand.
Everything is using this, like everyone is using the same images as well as same setup. So it's running. It's not running with you. There is something in between.
Yeah.
We'll check that. Can you just do the SSH
Here?
from your local machine? No, go to CMD. No, this is your HTML console.
Okay, okay. CMD.
Windows guys, I'll tell you what add-on. Let me pause my recording. Okay, let's ping the switch and do the SSH from here only. Or ping it first, yeah, ping it first and do the SSH. Do the SSH.
SSH I do because I have enabled the telnet only.
You were saying, right, it is taking time to configure the VLAN,
Yeah.
right? No, it hit no. SSH, you're not in Linux terminal, right? -L.
Shell.
Then username, whatever username that you have given, space and username.
Yeah, the IP is actually
No, username, right? You have given some username, right?
Okay. Username.
Space IP address. Array, you know, not configured the SSH only. How you'll go inside that? Go to
No,
SSH console. Mhm.
I'm using the telnet only.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Today we have learned Paramiko, no? Hit telnet.
The command will be same here.
Yeah. No. Telnet and then IP address. That's it.
Not recognized.
Now go with your code. Run the
This
code.
is
Where is your run? It will not telnet.
Huh?
What you want?
it is immediately came.
So
I
I didn't
I
do
was-
anything.
to be to be very honest, it just took me around 5 to 6 minutes.
I didn't do anything. Okay, just change the range of the VLAN. Let's change it to 10.
I thought why it is stuck in here.
That's fine. You don't want to delete that files because already you are using write mode, right? It will overwrite.
Okay.
See, you guys see the connectivity is very less. My bad. So the connectivity timing is lesser, right? In my case, I have a lab in Google Cloud. So for configuring more than 10 or 20 routers or switches, it will gonna take time. But in your case, see the time. It's
Why
very
I don't
less.
know that 3 to 4 times I've tried it took me around 5 to 6 minutes.
Your program
Now
was
it is
waiting for me actually. That's fine. But
sorry,
don't
it
do
is-
this in your live environment. I will not be there for your help. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Majid, share your
Yeah.
screen.
If you can invite.
Yep. Give me a sec. I'll give you access. Let me withdraw Jyoti's. Majid. Yeah, go ahead. Please don't stop the recording, guys. You are a co-host. Share your screen, Majid.
Yeah.
But the same issue someone is facing in the Mac, man.
Mm,
Why it is router?
I'm trying to search.
No, but why it is router? Wait, can you just bring any other device?
I mean, I already installed the packages as well.
Oh, okay, got it. Finish it. Lock it. Turn off all the devices. No, all the devices in a one go. You know that? Go to left, that menu option.
Just give me a moment.
That's fine. Go to left.
Hmm?
That the more actions, right? Go to more actions. Stop all the devices. guys, it's a best practice to stop all the devices and then close your lab, right? If you really want your lab to be,
Yeah.
if you want to use your lab for more time. Those who are creating the lab on Google Cloud, be sure to close your particular lab or stop your particular instance after using it. Otherwise, Google people will gonna block you due to, because you are running some automation scripts, right? So they'll not allow you to do that.
I just refresh it.
No, log out it. Don't yeah, log out from here. Log in with HTML5 console. I guess no, few of the users, few of you are facing issues because you have to fix this. Start it. Go to, yeah, it's booting up. Yes, now it will come.
I'm getting this one.
Yeah, wait, it will come.
Guys, continue. It's like for
There is an issue in your image. There is an issue in your image. Go to the image folder. It's not your system issue, it's an image issue. Go to the image folder. Do you have VNCPH?
Yeah.
Open that. This Windows 11 is good.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, man. I'm like, I know a lot of people are complaining about this. Close. No, close it. Okay, let's spin. I just wanted to open. That's it. Open VNCPH, please. Log into your machine.
Yeah.
You have taken access from AnyDesk.
Yes.
Is
There's
it
a
your
one.
office machine?
Yeah. I just did somewhere I can do my UAT labs and also that's it. These things are allowed. Yeah. Then.
Guys, see, if you are facing the issues in the images, it is like, I know it's all free images, but if you are ready to pay to Cisco, go and purchase VIOS images from Cisco.
I mean, the images of it's like whatever you have given the file, the same file we have uploaded. The images were not
Yeah,
there in
that's
that.
what.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
No, it's the same one, but those who
yeah.
really need for
Okay.
forever,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
They can go and purchase that. It's on them. Yeah, log in. No, you don't know the IP address. Go
Yeah.
to
I'm
your
just yeah.
VMware.
Yeah. I'm just waiting.
No, there is open, right? Go to your VMware.
Yeah. Already I opened, but it's what got closed.
Okay. See, no need to log into this VM. Just start this VM. That's it. That will be enough. No need to enter username and password. Oh, guys, it's not been. I would not recommend you to use 10.IP address in the local lab. Don't use 10. Class A IP address. Otherwise, what will gonna happen? No, in your live environment, we have all the 10.IP addresses, right? It will gonna clash. Don't use it. Always use class C. No, no, root only. No, no, root only. Yes. Back. Yeah. Oh, there. Oh, go to VNCPH. Go back here only. No, no, on the right hand side. There is an option, right? There is an option
Yeah.
to go back.
Yeah, I
Here,
mean,
here.
I'm checking, I mean,
No, no,
which folder
here,
you want,
this side, this side, this side. Go back.
where I
Yeah.
cannot get it. Yeah.
And this is not my images.
Yeah, I just added for my purpose.
So how that will run? No.
So I mean, I have to delete this one.
You just copy paste my images. That's it.
Okay, I mean, you can, I mean, if you want, you can delete it right away. It's nothing.
That's fine. It will gonna work. But you have to just copy paste my images
Here.
here. Yeah. Don't
Okay.
change the folder name as well.
Okay.
That's what I have written the same whatever the EVNG supports, right? Use the same folder names as well. No, this is lab. This is not the images.
I mean, I just copy the same thing from your site and I just upload it.
No. This is what? This is the lab, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where are your images? Go to automation folder, download that images.
Okay.
Come on, guys, take each other's help now. Post it in a group. Use our group as a community group. Because we all are professional. We all know that in the weekdays, we are busy with hell of tasks. So we all can help whenever it is required. Agree or not, guys?
Yeah.